A sturdy metal door guards the southwest entrance too. The door rattles against your knuckles. But the door rattles again. But this time...
Stop banging on the door! I'm not letting any more strangers inside. Doesn't matter who I am.
From within comes the faint sound of a broom sweeping across...
Ha! The police? Everyone knows the police don't come round here. No. I already told. Go check the backyard door. Maybe someone there will.
Backyard door? There must be another entrance to the east.
Madame, I assure you, we are real police officers.
There is no reply.
You're back. Good. What can I... Why, yes I am. Good.
There was a touch of discomfort.
The Pines, and that is the terminal.
The Wild Pines group is what she nods. Whoa. What? A bridge with loose nails and rot-infested wood that creaks in the wind. A construction code violation if there ever was. Guess so.
Hola, Wandering Man. How can I help you? Yeah, the janitor who gave me the key to his apartment said the guy's... Like I said before, I don't know much about this weasel, but the bossman said he's a real piece of work. Hola, Wandering Man.
The unpromising raised pupil.
This is the Night Watchman's.
Mr. Dubois, I'm very glad to hear that, Harry. One question. You didn't actually happen to stumble in and see what's inside the apartment, did you?
He's trying to figure out if you're lying.
You're right, Harry. You only had to unlock the door, which you did. So
He was testing you, and you...
now let's get down to brass tacks. It's time for men like me and you to figure out who's killed who and why. Real police work is gonna start happening now. I promise you, Harry, this is gonna be good. By now, I'm sure you've figured out who the dead man was working for. The bad guys. Wild Pines. Sent to... Harry, this strike is the culmination of many, many mistakes made by the Wild Pines group. They tried to shut the strike down by sending in armed mercenaries.
You mean our victim?
A security contractor? Can you imagine that? Workers standing in peaceful protest?
He performs a motion as if spraying...
I'm talking beasts. Hardened killers from proxy wars in East. Everything they did there, they brought over here. They want to turn Revachol into a third world slum. Honestly, the only... No, Harry, the elephant is metaphorical and so is the village. But the mercs... Now, I haven't personally witnessed the brutalities out there. I have the luxury of staying in my container, you see. If I need to go somewhere, they just move my container. Yes, I'm an old man, Harry. My legs aren't what they used to be. But enough about me and my fun container. The killers the company hired, I think there were 3 of them, all hardened commando types. One of them got downright suicidal, getting drunk, violent, a little rapey. Even their own negotiator couldn't control him. That's your boy, the one who likes hanging...
By negotiator.
Harry, what you need to realize is, we dock workers are not push... We got grit, Harry. This whole neighborhood does. Push us hard enough and we push back. And when we do, we push to kill. Potentially, Harry, potentially. We got arm wrestling champions, rowing club people, ex-coal miners, tough guys, all ready to spring. There's a militant wing inside the Union. A group of people whose duties don't involve manual labor, but peacekeeping in the neighborhood. Making sure everything runs.
That sounds a bit like...
They're like you guys. Idealistic people who want to make sure bad things...
Again, that sounds like organized crime.
So these idealists killed our victim?
One day Titus Hardy, leader of this peacekeeping faction, comes up to me and says, "Boss, Socialist Democrat..." He probably worded it differently, but that was the idea. Sure sounded to me like they killed him. I gave them 2 weeks paid leave and told them to lay low to avoid retaliation.
Aren't you worried we might arrest them for this?
Oh, I'm not at all worried about that. These are not the kind of men who get arrested. They're Martinez boys, tough and gritty. I'd like to see the man who takes them in. Besides, I sent my lawyer girl to look after them.
He places a lot of faith in that lawyer girl. Perhaps this is a tactical error? Anyway.
Racist mugs in the trash and in the apartment? You guys are just light years ahead of me. I have so much confidence in the ability of your organization. I'm relieved you're doing this and leaving me to do what I do best.
Yes, yes. Do you think this weasel...
Oh, no, 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 no.
Oddly, it seems to be true.
Believe me, Harry, he's a nobody. But he does live nearby. Maybe it's a pedantic weasel. Fascists are neat freaks. If you don't mind me saying so. I feel like a real detective right now, Harry. Am I getting this right?
Would he? I'm not so sure about it.
Oh, you're too kind, Harry. Way too kind. I know I'm not a real police officer. You are. How do I know? Let me tell you about these people. That's their MO. It's what they do. Last winter, some poor workers in Terminal E went on a little strike. The company sent in Sediment, a security contractor. The strike was over the workers' right to wear protective... These guys turn up and start beating people. Tell you what, Harry, I wouldn't be surprised if we got the same mercenary company after a little rebranding. And I...
So you believe the scabs were organized?
You said it. Hell, one of those guys looks big enough to take down that proverbial...
That does sound quite unlikely, yes. The big guy.
Oh, Liz is a bright one. I paid for that law degree myself, thinking it'll probably turn... Oh, they are simply... Old Theo used to run them, but things really...
Interesting.
They're almost all of them great guys. Work with them. Hell, interview them. You know what, Harry? I got a feeling they're going to show up in...
The lieutenant marks something in his notebook.
But of course, it's the least I can do for my good friend.
When you meet this Titus, tell him about this.
Also, Harry, here's 5 real. I'm not giving you anything. I'm just holding out 5.
The lieutenant watches you pocket the banknote. He looks a little...
Good boy. A real team player. Now, do you have any more questions? But of course...
When you meet this Titus, tell him about it.
Was it a good tour? I'm not sure we made much headway here. I was hoping we'd bust the case wide open. Heck, I even wanted to tell you what I really want to... I don't know what happened, Harry. I wanted you... Yes, Harry. It's like I can't...
A man of the left, so you have to be a social democrat.
Just between us, I don't care for those lefty dinks either.
And what would this entail?
Once again, I require nothing unethical or illegal of you. You just need to get 2 little signatures on this piece of paper, and then mail it to my accountant.
It depends. I don't think what we just got from Mr. Clare was very useful.
As I said, it weighs on me heavily. But once we get really talking, well, I'm going to hand you the keys to Martinez, and maybe even help you figure out who's behind...
He's saying as little as possible, as vaguely as he can.
It depends. I don't think what we just got from Mr. Clare was very useful.
As I said, it weighs on me heavily.
He's saying as little...
I'm glad you asked, Harry. The Union is going to build a modern youth centre in Martinez. It will be righteous. We're gonna get those teenagers off drugs and on roller skates. There's a nameless little street on the coast with some old houses around it. Most people have already signed. I just need 2 more signatures to get this mission off the ground, Harry. On the coast, Harry, across the canal. There's a cul-de-sac there, a little village they're calling it. A gloomy place, You'll find it. I trust your detective skills, Harry. They are just gonna have to deal with the construction noise for 6 months, and then they'll be living like kings. Right next to a fancy new youth...
Is he absolutely sure the tenants won't be thrown out in the street?
Am I? Harry, these people... Martinez is the most important thing in my life. I would never let anything... We're gonna build a youth centre there. The value of their properties goes up, and kids have a place to play in. I'm looking out for these people, not pulling the rug from under them, Harry. I'm looking out for... You bring joy to my heart, Harry. Such a pleasure to be working with you. Here. You need to get signatures from Isabel Sadie and Lillian Carter. The cul-de-sac is right past the pawn shop and across the canal. I hear there is some trouble with the waterlock, but they should fix it by Wednesday morning. Once you have the signatures, mail this to 13022 La Rocca in La Delta. Then I'll know you're a real Kingsman and a patriot. Most certainly, Harry. Nothing brightens my day like brainstorming these things with you. By all means, Harry, what's on your mind?
You take the legal documents out of the envelope. A 12 to 40 month construction period and the zoning plan. The youth center cuts into the ocean like the bow of some great modern ship. Apparently, it's going to be awfully close to the already existing buildings. Or there doesn't seem to be anything of interest here. No fine print.
I'm no property lawyer, but it looks fine. I like the print size. They're not selling or leasing anything.
How else are you going to build something?
Mr. Dubois, a pleasure.